Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today I am taking a look at Mattel's newly released Masters of the Universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover line, Turtles of Grayskull, which this wave is new for 2025. Special shout out and thank you to site sponsor Entertainment Earth for sending these two figures along for review. It's greatly appreciated. Please use our hyperlinks off of ToyHypeUSA.com or the links in the YouTube description below before you buy. You'll get 10% off any in-stock item and free USA shipping on $79 plus when using those links. These figures are packaged on blister cards here with phenomenally done artwork. That's standard for the line basically. You have the logos, Turtles of Grayskull, Masters of the Universe, and Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logos right there on the bottom. Also, the figures have comic books behind them. On the back, you have more great artwork there, which you can see here. Each character is given an action pose facing an opponent. And just below that, you have a brief description and a look at the rest of the wave, which includes Donatello, which I had previously reviewed, and Mechanic. Here is a closer look at the description for Rapahel and Rattlor. So I'm going to take these figures out of packaging now, and let's take a closer look. First up, let's take a look at these sheets. These indicate which parts are interchangeable with other Turtles of Grayskull figures, Masters of the Universe Origins, Masters of the WWE Universe, and WWE Superstars, as well as their proposed upcoming Masters of the Universe and Thundercats crossover figures. Here is a look at the comic book, which is Reptile Wars Part 1, Snake in the Shadows. I first showed you guys this when I was reviewing Donatello about a month ago, maybe a little bit longer. So it's going to be the same comic book that came with him. Here is a look inside. And on the back is a look at the four figures being offered in this wave. Here is your in-hand look at Raphael, given some new armor, a new right leg, which is completely covered in armor, some new bracelets on his forearms there, and some shared parts. He also includes a all-new head sculpt, and the bandana on the back can swivel around, which is pretty cool. Here is a look at all sides. On the front of the armor there is the letter R for Raphael, whereas you usually see it on the front of the belt. This is on the front of the torso. On the back, he can hold two sides, and there's a look at that. These fit right into the sheath on his shell. Here is a closer look at the head sculpt. Nicely done. About half of it is covered in the bandana. And here is a look at the back. The articulation is standard for the line, as the Origins line is 5 years old now. I think you guys would know basically what to expect as far as that. Ball jointed head, really good range of motion here. Swivel hinge shoulders, swivel hinge elbows, swivel hinge wrists, swivel waist, ball jointed hips, swivel hinge knees, hinged and rocker ankles. The shell on his back is also removable, and here is a closer look at that, and this can be used as a shield. Here is a look at the shell used as the shield, as I just specified. The armor is also removable, including the torso armor, the belt, also the shoulder guard, as well as the bracelets on the wrist that can all be removed. But I really don't see a point in removing it, as the torso armor is a little bit hard to take off, and I think you guys know what to expect as far as that. On the back, here is a look at the shell removed, and you see those two plugs where the shell can be plugged into. Raphael also includes this gigantic claw weapon. Wolverine, eat your heart out. This thing is massive. It is beautifully sculpted. And on the front of it, it has the facial expressions of a snake, which I find pretty cool. You see the eyes up there. And around that, you see the design of a turtle shell. Here is a closer look at what I'm talking about. This thing is very nicely detailed. And the claw itself, if you look at it from the side here, it actually looks like a mouth, which is a very nice detail. Here is a look at the side. As I said, it is very nicely detailed. You see the eyes of the snake right there, the turtle shell design right there on top. I really personally love this accessory. I think it's a great addition for the figure. Here is one final pose. Here is another look at those two sides that I had on the back of the shell there. Both of them are the same, and there's also a little bit of detail where you can see right there above the handle, which is very nicely done. Here is another pose. I also forgot to add, he also includes swivel calves. My apologies. Here is another pose. Here is a comparison with the previously offered Rapahel figure. As you can see, there are shared parts between the two figures, as well as new armor, as well as a new leg and upper arm for the new Rapahel figure. The head sculpts are also new by comparison. Here is a look at the back of the figures. You'll also note that the shells are also new, which I find pretty interesting, considering that it's not reuse, which is what Mattel is very big on for this line. Also, the wrist bracelets are new. The old one had it sculpted on, but the new one has them loose fitting around the wrists. Here is your in-hand look at Rattlor. He uses the same sculpt as previously offered a few times already, and he includes some new parts such as the head and helmet, armor, hands and feet. The bright colors I think work very well for him. He looks like he's been mutagized from the ooze in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so it's a pretty good crossover for this figure. There is also an eye right there on his upper torso there, which is pretty cool. Here is a look at all the sides for you guys. On the back, you'll notice that he has a couple of parts here that could plug into something, such as a turtle shell or something, but he doesn't come with anything that would be compatible with this. You would have to use a part from another figure. The tail is something we've seen before with Rattlor and one other figure. And if you shake him, he also has that rattle sound. You should be able to hear that on camera. So they kept that on there as well. Here is a closer look at the head sculpt. It's in that hot pink color that the armor and the hands and the feet are in. I think it works very well for the character. The eyes are yellow with black pupils, which are very nicely done. He also includes a helmet, which is also removable, and it has yellow snake eyes, which you can see here, and snake gills as well. Also snake teeth, which you can see right there. The jaw is also hinged, so you can open it, which is pretty cool. If you notice on camera, I just touched that, and these parts on his forearm here do tend to fall off a little bit too easily for my liking, but it's the only place where they will fit. The Snake Man belt is also reused and includes the logo right there on the front. He is also fully articulated, and the articulation is standard for the line, including the hinged jaw, which I showed you guys, ball jointed head, swivel hinged shoulders, swivel hinged elbows, swivel hinged wrists, swivel waist, ball jointed hips, swivel hinged knees, swivel calves. Good range of motion there. He also has swivel hinged ankles as well. As I said, this piece does fall off a little bit easy, so there's a note to that. This is also made of a soft plastic, so I wouldn't really call this a point of articulation. It's just know that it's extra bendy. You can move that around. Here are some poses for him. He doesn't have any handheld accessories, unfortunately, but he does come with a couple of interchangeable neck pieces that I'm going to show you guys. Here is another pose. This time I went ahead and removed the helmet. As I said, he comes with 2 interchangeable neck pieces. Here is one. Here is that second interchangeable neck piece. Here is a comparison. I never liked this particular sculpt only because the figures had trouble standing up on their own because the tail and the back gets in the way. This new Rattlor figure in the Turtles of Grayskull line fixes that problem. So he's able to stand up by himself compared to the other 2 figures, which you see behind him there, leaning on Snake Mountain. Here is a look at the back. Here is a comparison of all 4 figures, including Mechanic, Donatello, Rattlor, and Rapahel. It should be noted when you stack both of the neck pieces, the one that comes with Rattlor is taller than Mechanic's. Overall, Rattlor and Rapahel are great figures. I would highly recommend you guys picking up. Rattlor is my personal favorite, and I'm loving how you can swap out these 2 neck pieces here. This is how I'm going to display them. Thank you again to site sponsor Entertainment Earth for sending these 2 figures along for review. It's greatly appreciated. To buy, please use our hyperlinks off of toyhypeusa.com or the links right in the YouTube description. Get 10% off any in-stock item and free US shipping on $79 plus. I am Anthony Scott. Thanks again for watching this video, and stay tuned for more news and reviews.